Okay, imagine that you guys have been given a task from an agency to do. You ask them how much it's going to cost in addition to the $850 billion that you just got in order to do it. And you say, add the two, carry the one, about an extra $200 billion. That is not a typo. That is the number that the Pentagon sent to the White House informally asking as a supplemental funding package for Operation Epic Fury. Here's what they told you in the headline. The money is to fund the war in Iran, replenish weapons, keep the mission running, etc. We called this. We told the audience weeks ago that the moment Operation Epic Fury launched, a supplemental funding request was going to come later on down the line. Told you that. And we told you why that matters. Not just as a taxpayer, but as a service member, as a military family, and as someone whose financial life is directly connected to what happens inside of that Pentagon budget. Today, we're going to go deeper into that headline. Okay, Lorraine is going to break down exactly where that $200 billion is coming from and what the DoD or DOW does with your money while the Supplemental Act is still pending. B is going to walk you through what it means for the most common service member. So from that E4 to at Nellis, NCO at Ramstein, A1C working security forces right here in the States. And lastly, Michaela is going to give you the concrete action steps to protect yourself financially and personally because this mission affects you whether you deploy or not. This is the $200 billion briefing. Our Ray, internet is going nuts with it already. Can you please take us in and let us know where this $200 billion is coming from if granted?
You got it, Chris. Listeners, let me give you the financial architecture of what's happening right now. Because understanding where this money comes from is the only way to understand what it costs you. First, let me put the number in context. At $1.38 billion per day, the $200 billion supplemental request would fund approximately 145 more days of operations. That takes us roughly through mid-August 2026, and that assumes the burn rate didn't increase. And the opening days of the conflict, the United States was spending closer to $2 billion per day in munitions alone. Now, the question you need answered, where does that money actually come from? Show me the money.
Right.
The supplemental appropriation. That budget funds day-to-day military operations, pay, benefits, housing allowances, training, and infrastructure. The supplemental is separate. It is specifically designed to fund emergency war operations, weapons expenditure, munitions replenishment, additional deployment costs, and mission-critical equipment that was not planned for in the base budget. Why does that distinction matter to you? Because in theory, your pay, your BAH, your BAS, those are protected inside the base budget. The supplemental is not supposed to cannibalize the money allocated to keep service members housed, fed, and compensated. In theory. We'll come back to that. Source 2, the national debt. The United States national debt crossed $39 trillion this week, y'all. $39 trillion. When a supplemental appropriation is approved, that money is borrowed. It is added to the national debt. And borrowed money comes with this is the number that doesn't make the headline. The $200 billion price. I know, y'all are going to get tired of me saying that number, but it's true.
Yeah, it's a lot.
This is the price tag they're quoting today. The true cost of the war. When you account for long-term veteran health care, debt interest, and disability claims, will be measured in trillions. Again, I can barely count to 850.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Source number 3, the DOW base budget and the reprogramming authority gap. Here is the piece of financial architecture that most briefings skip entirely, and it is the one that matters most to you right now. The $200 billion supplemental has not been approved. It is a request, not a reality. So what does the Department of War do while the supplemental is pending? And a war is still burning at $1.4 billion.
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 They use something called reprogramming authority, the DOW's legal authority to move money between existing budgeting accounts without waiting for new funding approval. Up to $4 billion can be reprogrammed within a year before additional oversight is triggered. Where it comes from: training accounts, military construction, equipment procurement, civilian workforce, research and development budgets. This is how the DOW keeps the war funded while the paperwork catches up. And understanding it is critical because when the Department of War exercises reprogramming authority, it moves money from the budget lines that fund your daily installation life. Not your paycheck, not your BAH. Those are statutory, protected. But everything that makes your installation function day to day: training budgets, civilian contractor workforce, military construction, equipment maintenance cycles, those are exactly the accounts reprogramming authority pulls from. The DOW has used reprogramming authority to fund active operations multiple times in the past 2 decades. It is legal, it is documented, and it is happening right now in some form while a supplemental request works through the system. This is not a warning about what might happen. This is a briefing on what historically does happen and what Michaela's going to walk you through. But first, B, ground truth. What is this already costing the service member on the line today?
Well, 200 billion.
Clearly.
I said I need about 350.
Mm.
350, bro. Let me give you the ground truth. Because I've been doing this long enough to know that when leadership start talking about supplemental budgets and emergency appropriations, the people who feel it first are the people wearing stripes. And, that's me and Kay. We're going to be feeling, hype back in the day, but me and Kay right now. So let me walk you through 5 ways this 200 billion can touch your daily life, whether you deploy or not. All right, impact 1. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm feeling this right now.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I said, people gonna feel it. Gas and energy prices. I know y'all feel it. I know you go to that pump, and the national average, I think, is like at $4 something dollars. That's the average. But in some places like California, and I think Las Vegas is up there too, like 5, 6.
Yeah,
It's getting
we're at
crazy.
5. We're at 5.
Ooh-wee. A gallon.
Yep.
Y'all got back
So
to 5?
Yeah, we're up there.
5.
In some
That's
places, yeah.
crazy, bro. So think about this. All right, the Strait of Hormuz, that's like big in the news right now. The waterway that handles roughly 20% of the world's oil supply. That is a critical piece. That's a critical waterway. Has been under selective shutdown since OEF started. And I'm not talking about Operation Enduring Freedom. I'm talking about Operation Epic Fury. The result: American families are paying approximately
We are
80
praying
cents.
too. We are praying too.
Freudian slip that needs to be said. All right. They're paying approximately 80 cents more per gallon of gasoline compared to pre-strikes. We're already struggling to make ends meet. And now on top of that, with inflation, with eggs, the cost of bread, water, sugar, you name it, everything is through the roof. Now you're going to add 80 cents per gallon on top of that. Come on, man. So now, if you live on base, your commute might be shorter. You might have that e-bike, whatever, Tesla. But if you're like most service members, living in the economy, driving to the installation every day, that 80 cents per gallon is coming directly out of your pocket. Not your BAH, not your BAS, your take-home pay, that base pay. At 15 gallons per fill-up twice a week, that's on average, right? That's on average. That's roughly $24 more per week and $96 more per month just to get to work. So no Netflix, no HBO Max, no, I'm gonna have a couple beers now. No, now it's spent on going to work. Impact number 2, and everybody needs to understand this that's in the military, and it's critical that we all understand this. Deployment is always an uncertainty, and it's increasing. You don't know what's going to happen, and if your number is called, you got to be ready. OEF is currently an air and naval campaign. Now, at any point in time, no confirmed ground troops as of this recording. That could literally change on a drop of a dime. But the supplemental funding requests of this size are not written for air campaigns alone. The war's supposed to be short, it's supposed to be over, it's coming up, Kuwait, we'll see. When the Pentagon asked for $200 billion, what language specifically including what we may have to do in the future? That is planning language for escalation, just in case we have to go there. We're not trying to go there, but if I got to take you through there, I'm going to take you through there. So if you're on a deploy unit right now, this is not the time to assume your timeline is stable. It's not, because you're in the rest, reset, prepare phase. What phase are you in? Check your deployment calendar, check your dwell status, know your unit's sourcing assignment. Because if the campaign escalates, the pipeline moves fast and families absorb the schedule's shock. Your families, that's why you got to be ready. Okay? Impact number 3, readiness and training compression. This is the impact that doesn't make a headline, but every service member who's been through a sustained high tempo operation knows exactly what I'm talking about. When a campaign draws heavily on DOW resources, munitions, airlift, ISR assets, logistics chains, the units that are deployed feel it in their training budgets that aren't deployed. Flying hours get prioritized for mission ready and deployed aircraft. Home station units fall behind currency requirements. Equipment gets pulled forward for operations, leaving maintenance backlogs at the home station. Training exercises get deferred or canceled because of O&M accounts. Funding them are being reprogrammed towards the active fight. Flying hours are reduced for home station units. Ground training exercises are deferred. Equipment maintenance schedules are delayed. Non-mission ready rates climb. Qualification currencies lapse. Members fall out of ready status. Civilian instructor and contractor support are reduced on the installation. Here's why it matters to you. If your unit falls behind on readiness and an escalation order comes down, you are rushing to get current before your deployment. That is a stress on you, your family, and the unit's operational effectiveness. The service member who protects themselves from training compression are the ones who are proactively managing their time, managing their individual readiness, not waiting for the unit to tell them they've lapsed. Know your currency requirements. Know your next evaluation window. Don't let the operational tempo manage your readiness for you. Get ahead of it. Know your status. Impact number 4, and this one is big. Inflation is not done with you yet. Oh my God, are you serious? The Strait of Hormuz closure isn't just about gas prices. Think about how many things utilize gas, diesel, fuel in order to get you from point A to point B or get products from and goods and services around this country. And also air travel and everything else. Fertilizer prices are up. That means food production costs are up. That means grocery bills are going up. Check out that. How much is a dozen eggs right now?
We
Crazy.
always talk about that. Yeah.
Milk, crazy. That means, on top of the cost of living pressure that was already squeezing military families before a single bomb even dropped in Iran, we're already feeling the pressure. We don't get paid a king's ransom to do what we do, but we do it, right? Out of service. Your 6 BAH, I just want to underscore this for you, went up 4.2%. Gas went up 80 cents a gallon. Groceries are climbing. The MAC is working against you, even if your pay stayed exactly the same. You got to feel me on this. And here's the part that just messes you up. Inflation hits junior enlisted members the hardest. This is what pisses me off the most. An E4 or E5 living in an economy, paying rent, filling a gas tank, feeding a family has the least margin to absorb these cost spikes. It's messed up. It just completely upsets me. Impact number 5. You need this, man, and I gotta underscore this too. This is so critical. Your SGLI and life insurance exposure is real. Those first 6 service members that die, I guarantee you they weren't like, oh yeah, I'm gonna die today. No, you don't know when it's gonna happen. You have no idea. I want to close on this one. Is one that the SCIIF has been talking about, briefing you on for months with the Warrior Wealth series.
We're gonna keep talking about it.
And finances are big. Health is wealth, and finances is you need it all. When a campaign like OEF runs and when it potentially escalates, SGLI becomes the most important document in your financial file. Is your SGLI beneficiary designation current? Is it your current wife or your former wife? Has your family situation changed? Marriage, divorce, new child since you've last updated it? And this is the question Lorraine and Christian have been raising with the Warrior Wealth series. Is $500K enough? I'm gonna tell you, you got to really
Not
look
for
at
me.
this thing in totality, man. I got 6 kids, 5 girls and a son. And you got to project out like, okay, college, you need to think about daily costs, daycare, everything together. 500 is like, bro, that ain't gonna get it. I'm sorry.
Man, we
And
we
you're
keep
gone.
telling them. We keep telling y'all.
You're gone. You're not coming back. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Now the burden falls on your spouse and your significant other to pick up that slack and that salary. And let's not say if they don't have like a technical skill or something that's a high earning skill. What if they're a part of service as well? What if they are a teacher or something to that effect? Dude, those pay charts are topped out. So now they're held, they have that $500,000 and that's it. So think about this: service members with a mortgage, dependents, no private supplement. 500 sounds like a lot until you run the math. If at a 4% safe withdrawal rate, 500,000 generates 20,000 per year in income replacement. Where you
Hell
going
nah.
with 20? Where you going with
Hell
20,000?
no. Not over here, bro.
Let's do it.
Not over.
Down,
No,
down.
You ain't going nowhere with 20K.
we
Ain't
ain't
gonna go
going nowhere.
nowhere.
K can't even do that. K is like 20K. I can't do nothing with that.
You can't do nothing when you can't pay. I mean, you can pay a little something.
A little car, a little piece of car.
Something, bro. Like, bro, that ain't gonna get it. Is 20K a year enough for you and your family to survive on without you? Now, see, that's I want to just paint the picture. Is 500K in an investment account with a average 4% return rate on that 500K. Let's not say you're in an older house and your roof goes out. Where you get that money from? That happens.
And
So there's a
doesn't
gap.
research say that it costs $18,000 per year to take care of one child?
Yeah, it's
Oh
something
yeah,
like it's a
it's
beast.
crazy.
It's a beast.
Dude,
Children are
just
expensive.
Very.
there's a layer nobody's briefing you on. Lorraine told you about the DOW already. Moving money internally through reprogramming authority, which is crazy, but you do what you got to do. Which means the discretionary programs that touch your daily life are already under financial pressure, right? So right now, today, before any supplemental is approved, K has your action order.
Lori told you Congress hasn't approved this yet. B told you what it's already costing you at the gas pump. Now, I need to tell you what happens if that $200 billion doesn't get approved, because this is not a theoretical scenario. And when the Pentagon can't fund a war from a supplemental, history tells us exactly where they go looking for the money. They look inside the base budget. They look at you. I want to take you back to 2013. The DoD base budget was hit with the automatic across-the-board cuts. Tuition assistance suspended. All branches mid-semester, no warning. Civilian workforce furloughed. Installation services, healthcare admin, base maintenance all reduced. Wait times spiked. Child development centers reduced hours. Working parents on base absorbs the schedule impact immediately. Commissary subsidies cut. Prices went up. Some locations reduced operating hours. Training exercises canceled. Flying hours reduced. Units went on non-current on qualifications. PCS moves deferred. Orders delayed. Families left in limbo for months.
We just went through that. Doesn't that sound familiar though? Does that not sound familiar? We just
Yes.
went through that. That's a taste of what's to come if this thing is not approved or this thing is pushed back. You already have had a taste of what that feels like, and you knew it was uncomfortable. Are y'all ready for that?
Whew.
This is sequestration under a budget dispute with no active war running. Now imagine that dynamic with a 1.4 billion per day burn rate in Iran still needing to be funded, and the DoD already exercising reprogramming authority inside the base budget. Here's what's protected by law and what's not. Protected is military base pay, so your BAH and BAS allowance, retired military pay, VA disability compensation, SGLI. At risk is going to be your tuition assistance, PCS moving funding, TDY travel budgets, commissary subsidies, CDC and family support services, civilian workforce on your installation, military construction and base improvement, training, exercise funding, equipment maintenance schedules. Your paycheck is protected, your allowances are protected, but everything that makes your daily life on that installation functional, that is discretionary. And so here's your action order. 5 things you execute now before any announcement, before any official word comes down. Action 1. If you're using tuition assistance, enroll in your next term immediately. In 2013, the Air Force suspended tuition assistance with essentially no warning. If your application was already in, you were protected. If you hadn't submitted yet, you were locked out. If you are currently enrolled or planning to enroll in the next term, submit your TA application now. Don't wait for the next registration deadline. Don't wait for official guidance. The window between budget stress and TA suspension is measured in days, not weeks. Action 2. If your PCS orders are pending, push for execution now. PCS move funding comes out of operations and maintenance accounts. If your orders are cut, but your move hasn't been scheduled, get it on the calendar this week. A move in progress is far harder to freeze than a move that's only on paper. Action 3. Inventory your installation dependencies. Do you use the Child Development Center? Know the backup child care plan? Do you rely on base health care for primary care? Know your TRICARE off-base options. Do you shop the commissary as a primary grocery store? Know your off-base budget impact if hours reduce. Do you use the Education Center for TA processing? Know the direct service branch portal as a backup. Does your unit rely on civilian contractors for maintenance or admin? Know who covers those functions if furloughs hits. This is not a doom exercise. This is a readiness exercise. The service members who got hurt in 2013 were the ones who had no plan B when the installation services they depended on changed overnight. Know your dependencies, build your contingency. Action 4. Do not commit TDY money if you haven't received yet. This catches junior members the hardest. A TDY assignment gets scheduled. The service member floats personal expenses expecting reimbursement. The budget tightens. The reimbursement takes 90 days instead of 30. Don't use TDY reimbursements as cash flow. Pay out of your liquid reserve, which is why B's point about financial buffers matters here too. Action 5. Connect with your command financial specialist this week. Command financial specialist, free on every installation, trained to help you audit your financial exposure, review your SGLI coverage, and build a contingency plan. DoD Comptroller, the official source for DoD budget execution updates when reprogramming actions are taken. They're documented here. your installation financial readiness office. They will have early situational awareness on program changes before official announcement. Make contact now, not after the assignment. Here's the bottom line. $200 billion hasn't been approved. The DoD is already moving money internally. And a war burning at $1.4 billion a day does not pause while the paperwork catches up. You now know what to watch, what to protect, and what to execute before any announcement drops.
All right. So again, to recap everything, you guys, $200 billion, $1.4 billion a day, 80 cents more per gallon at the pump. Grocery prices are climbing. DOW authority already in motion. Discretionary programs under pressure, and a war with no publicly stated end date. It's a lot going on. That's not doom and gloom, though. That's just the operational picture that you guys need to see. And when you understand the operational picture, you can prepare for it. Michaela just handed you the 5 action items. Ray just gave you the financial architecture, including what the DOW does with your money while the supplemental is still pending. Be translated into your daily life. I need you guys to understand something before you close this video out. We called this out weeks ago. That's how we get down. We told you that a supplemental request was coming. We told you it would be large. We told you that the financial fallout of this campaign would reach into the homes of every service member, whether they are deployed or not. This is why you stay with us. Before you leave, though, 3 things. 1, drop Warrior Wealth in the comments right now. Let me know that you guys got the intel and you down with us. Number 2, share this episode with 1 active duty member, 1 veteran, 1 family member who needs to hear it so they are prepared. 1 share is your mission today. Number 3, subscribe, like, comment, hit that notification bell, because when we hit this up next, you ain't going to want to miss it. This has been the SCIIF International Podcast. Remember, situations, conversations, inspiring intellectual futures. Like my father, Milton Kelsey, U.S. Navy, used to say, he'd say, Chris, to be aware is to be alive, and to be alive is to be aware. And I wish I could hear him say that. Until the next one, you guys be safe out there. All right?
Peace.